Good morning, students. As we are trying to understand some of the basic concept of cognitive processes, wherein recently we have discussed about attention, perception, as well as learning. Now, in the today's class, we are going to learn about the next important element that is very important for every one of us. That is none other than important psychological aspect that I can say, that is memory. Memory and forgetting are the two important aspects which are to be known as two faces of the same coin, which is again very essential for every one of us to do the activities in a very systematic form. Especially for the development of our personality is considered, we directly or indirectly influenced by these two processes. That is, what is the first one is remembering, that we call it in the psychology as memory, and the second one is forgetting, that is not remembering element. Okay, so how memory and forgetting play an important role, how important they are. Okay, especially at the initial stage we shall study about the concept of memory. What is memory? Okay, what is the meaning of the memory, what are the types which we have in the format of memory? Okay, and what is the nature or the characteristics of memory? Okay, and the factors which influences on memory, that is also important. And finally we shall study about some of the theories and methods for memorizing, how to improve the memory, as well as how forgetting play an important role. So as I said, memory and forgetting are the two important faces of the same coin, without which we cannot lead the life. Even memory is also required for us, and even forgetting also. You may say, why sir forgetting is important? I will let you know how important it is for every one of us to lead the life. If we don't have the ability of forgetting, it is difficult for our mind to restore the information, because every second there may be something which is supposed to be noticed by every one of us, but everything will not be remembered. Okay, so we will remember only those elements, those situations, those subjects, those conditions which influence a lot on every one of us. So the other elements, unpleasant situations, ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ದುಃಖವನ್ನು ಕೊಡುವಂತ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶಗಳನ್ನು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಮರಿತೀವಿ. ಮರೆಯುವುದು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂತ ಒಂದು ಅತ್ಯವಶ್ಯಕ ಅಂಶನೇ. ಆದರೆ as per teacher and learners are considered, learning process is considered, forgetting is not a good art, but the other conditions are considered, even forgetting is good. And even that I am not saying that everybody should have to forget everything. Forgetting will help us to lead the life systematically. How memory play an important role, in the same way forgetting also play an important role. Let's see how in what way memory and forgetting play an important role. First, let us try to understand the concept of memory, what actually it is. Okay, so the memory was the first phenomena to be studied in psychological laboratory in the year 1864. At the initial stage, we can see the root of memory, or when it was started discussion, or when we can see the root of discussion on the concept of memory. So that will definitely goes to the year 1864 in a place called Ebbinghaus. So there was a psychological laboratory which was initially prepared or developed by, where for the first time there is some discussions which were followed on the concept of memory. What is memory? How memory play an important role? What is the need of understanding memory? In what way the memory can be classified? Like that, there were some discussions which were happened in the field of psychology. So that was in the year 1864. We can see the root of memory in the year 1864, that to a place called Ebbinghaus, that too in a psychological laboratory. So what is memory then? So I think memory, whenever we used to listen to the word memory, the word which immediately comes to us is remembering, isn't it? So remembering of what? What all we remember, what all we forget. So both play an important role. As I said, memory is nothing but encoding. Whenever we used to receive the information will not be remembered. One space we need to encode the information, means the received information is coded according to my strengths, according to my capacity, according to my competency, according to my level of the skills that I am using, isn't it? So memory is, after receiving, it should be encoded. It can be stored for a long period of time, and whenever we need, we retrieve the information, like how we deposit the amount in the bank, isn't it? Depositing the amount means our amount is deposited in a safe account which cannot be used by anybody. Nobody can take the amount like that. Now the hackers are there now, somewhat due to some technical instrument they are all using, but somehow it is one of the safest zone to keep the money, isn't it, in the bank system. So whenever storing we'll do, and whenever we need the money, we'll take it from bank, or it may be with the help of online transaction, or it may be by using the card. So whatever the form it is, like that. Memory is when we receive information, all information will not be remembered. Okay, one thing you need to get very clear about the memory is, we used to receive lot many information every day, but everything will not be remembered. So which will be remembered, which will be called as memory? When the information is received, it is encoded, then it is stored, and if suppose the stored information is retrieved, retrieval of information, whenever we need, we use it. Say for example, calculations. I used to say the example again and again. So we were studied arithmetic or some parts of mathematics during our primary and high school session. And still today we do use mathematic elements whenever the calculations comes to us, isn't it? So that means the stored information is retrieved. If we are doing so, if we are getting such information through the help of stored information, that process is known as memory. So encoding, storing, and retrieval of information is what memory is. So actually it consists of these three phases. The memorizing process are organized in the form of memory traces with which functions like a computer, like how we have input, how we have a process, at the same time how do we have the output facility. In the same way, the information what we receive will not be produced, it will be stored, it will be used whenever there is a need. So the need arises, whenever the need arises, we do use the information that we used to have. Let us see one of the important definition related to memory. What memory is, isn't it? Let's see. What is memory? Memory is the power to store experience and bring them into the field of consciousness. Sometimes after the experience has occurred is called memory. Once again, I would like to read the same statement, that what is memory? It is the power to store experience and to bring them into the field of consciousness. Sometimes after the experience has occurred is called memory. So one or another way, memory is going to play an important role for every one of us. It is the ability, it is the skill, it is the power that each and every one of us used to have, which will help to store our experience, store our information that we have received. So whatever the experience we used to have in our life till today, that is stored. It is helpful for storing the experience and to bring those experiences into the field of consciousness whenever such circumstances comes to us. Okay, so for such conditions, the memory will help you. So what all the bad and good experiences you had in your past, those experiences will help you to lead the present situation as well as the future perspectives. So that is what the power of memory. So memory is the power to store the information as well as the experiences and to bring them into the consciousness. Sometimes after the experience has occurred is called memory. So it is not only the thing that is helping us to live the life presently, but based on the previous experiences, whatever I had, okay, in any form, either it may be in a positive sense or it may be in a negative form, those issues, if I am using again and again, based on how I treated the patient, based on how I taught the class in the previous situation, if I have noticed any issues, if I have noticed any problems in my previous class, so that I can, based on that experience, I will bring that information, bring that experience so that I can improve myself. So it is the collection of the experiences. So those collection of experience will lead every one of us to reshuffle, rethink, okay, reorganize the thing in a very systematic form as compared to the previous one. So in that process, memory is directly or indirectly helping every one of us to lead the life very systematically in a very sequential form. Now let us talk about some of the types of memory. As per their nature, the characteristics are considered. You can see three important categories. Even in some books, they have given 4 or 5. But these are the very three important aspects which we need to focus on. So the memory can be classified by psychologists into three important domains. What they are? The first one is sensory memory. Second one is short-term memory. And third one is long-term memory. We have three categories, three types in memory. One is sensory, second one is short-term, the third one is long-term. What these are and how they are played, let's see. As I said, the first category of memory is sensory memory. The name itself indicates it is a type of memory which is usually experienced by every one of us through the help of sensory organs. As you know that how sensory organs play an important role in our day-to-day life. In the same way, for the memorization of any information or situation or condition is considered, we need to have some of these type of categories which are directly or indirectly helpful for every one of us, isn't it? So the sensory memory will help us to remember the information through the help of sensory organ. Any sensory organ it may be. Okay, either it may be eye, nose, tongue, okay, ear, or it may be in the form of skin. So all the 5 sensory organs may directly or indirectly helpful for every one of us to get familiar with some information. Okay. By using these all elements, we may get some information about the condition that we are actually experiencing. So that form of memory is to be known as sensory memory. It stores the incoming information in a sensory register which has large capacity. When we used to hear the sound, we used to say that that is the sound of that particular instrument or a work. Okay, if I see something, I will say, hi, this is a green color, this is white color, the screen is in black color, like that. Okay, so through the help of sensory, if I remember, if I used to get information based on my previous experience, I used to say, if I show you some alphabets of a language, if I ask you to read, you can, if you can see and you can read, then you are using the sensory memory. It helps you to get the information through the help of sensory register, which has a large capacity as per its collection is considered. So in information in sensory register lasts for very short duration, ranging from fraction of second to few seconds. Usually, whatever the type of memory we used to have through the help of sensory memory, based on its availability, based on its capacity of storing, as far as time is considered, it is very short time. Even we have short-term memory, but altogether it will take at least 20 to 30 seconds. But below to that is sensory type of memory. It is very short duration. Means, as I said, in a particular second, you can say a fraction of second. For a moment, for a fraction of second, we may get attention towards something through the help of our sensory organs. That sort of information, that sort of memory is to be known as sensory memory. So it may range from it may be ranging from fraction of second to very few seconds. It may be 2 seconds, 3 seconds, or maximum 5 or 6 seconds. Okay, so within that arena, if something is experienced by every one of us, that too through the help of some of our sensory organs, so that form of memory is to be known as what? Sensory memory. This is one of the foundation. This is one of the basic type of memory, we can say. As I said, there are three important categories in memory: sensory memory, short-term memory, and the third one is long-term memory. So sensory memory indicates how memory is to be, means remembering process is to be followed through the help of fraction of second to very few seconds. Now, the sensory memory is classified into two important categories again, as per their nature as well as the characteristics of these type of memory are considered. Whatever the sort of information that we are remembering through the help of eye, nose, ear, tongue, or skin, so those are classified into two important subdivisions. The main division of memory are three: sensory, short term, and long term. Whereas sensory memory, again, it was classified into two important subsector as iconic memory, and one more is wave memory. Okay, what they are, let's see. Iconic memory is the form of sensory memory which focuses information. Yes. The iconic memory is the form of sensory memory that holds visual information for almost quarter of second or more. Means within that second only. The second is again divided into different parts like 1/4. Okay. So this is 1 second. So in that second, again there were 4 classification out of 1/4, like as per algebraic elements are considered. So 1 part of 4th, okay, 1/4. So that time of means that much time will be only considered as iconic memory. Iconic memory is the form of sensory memory that will definitely holds visual information. So somewhat it is connected to eyes. So for a second, for something I would like to get notice. For a second, fraction of second, we'll get some information. So that too through the help of eyes. That form of memory is to be known as iconic memory. And the second one is again in sensory memory, that is echoic memory. It is a momentary sensory memory of auditory stimulus, whatever we used to listen. So like how ear used to play an important role. If attention is elsewhere, if you're all listening to me, so for a second, if somebody disturb, I used to get disturbed over there. Okay, so it is a momentary sensory memory of auditory stimulus. If attention is elsewhere, sounds and words can still be recalled within 3 to 4 seconds. So though you are all listening to my lecture, but still if there are any disturbances from your surrounding, you will definitely get disturbed by those conditions by listening to the different sounds, isn't it? So for a 3 to 4 second, if your attention is diverted toward that condition and you stop this form of element, then it is somewhat, if it is related to the auditory system, then it is to be known as echoic. So iconic is related to eyes, whereas echoic memory is related to what I can say, the auditory system. So it is momentary sensory memory of auditory stimulus. If attention is elsewhere, sounds and words can still be recalled within 3 to 4 seconds. If that process is to be followed, then that can be known as echoic type of memory. Now, what are the functions of sensory memory? Then how does these sensory memory play an important role as per their functions are considered? So the first function is they are helpful for taking the decision time, gives the decision time. It will, though they are in a fraction of second, but even sometimes these sensory memories will help you how to take the decisions in a right time. Okay. And next is they will provide stability, playback and recognition for everything that you are experiencing. So if you are having the good as well as the bad experiences, if it is good, if you wanted to continue in the same position, so for stability and as to come back from that condition, okay, or to recognize somebody or even yourself can be possible through the help of memory. So when you hear the sound, when you see something, so based on that you will remember, it will help you to recognize something, whether it is what, whether it is pen, whether it is pencil, whether it is other instrument which is used for writing, and maybe a pencil or a chalk piece, or the pen, or it may be ink pen, whether it is gel pen, whether it is like that. So within fraction of second, through the help of our sensory organs, those can be identified. Okay, these will provide stability, these will play back, and even they will help us in the recognition of the things or situations in which we are all experiencing the different element. That is what the first part of the type of memory, that is sensory memory. So in sensory memory, we have two type of memory again. One is echoic memory and the second one is iconic memory, and the second one is echoic memory. Now let's talk about the second major classification of type of memory, that is short-term memory. So the again name of this category indicates that this is the type of memory which will help every one of us to remember some events, consequences, thoughts, ideas for a short period of time. But comparing to the previous one, sensory organ, sensory memory, it is quite good. Okay. Whereas sensory memory used to take place only for a fraction of a second. Whereas this will lead us to remember some elements or information at least for 20 to 30 seconds. Okay. 20 to 30 seconds of time. We can remember some situations or condition. So if that is followed in every one of us, that process is to be known as short-term memory. So short-term memory usually holds a relatively small amount of information. Comparing to the long-term memory, there may be a very small amount of information, that too about 7 times for a short period of 50 to 30 seconds. Maximum 30 seconds of information can be restored in our memory type, that can be called as a short-term memory. The type of information stored in short-term memory are some sounds that we hear, some images that we used to see, some words that we used to talk about, or it may be some of the sentences. So it may be of any extension that a person is using. It depends upon the ability of the person's personality, you can say. It depends upon the ability of the intelligence of the person what we are talking about. So either it may be words, sentence, symbols, images, sounds, etc. Usually that will be carried out up to the period of 50 to 30 seconds. So if that is considered, that point of type of memory is to be known as short-term memory. So information from short-term memory may be transferred to sometime long-term memory, either to the help of a rehearsal, recalling, remembering, or following some of the activities. So it depends upon how we are all familiar with, and what from what all we are actually familiar with. A next element that we need to study now is about the third category, that is long-term memory. A memory which can be restored or which can be stored for a long period of time, I can say, isn't it? So the long-term memory has the unlimited capacity to store information for days, or it may be for months, or it may be for years, and even a lifetime. If I ask you what is your name, you will immediately say. If I ask you your friend name, even you may close friend's name, you can say. Okay, long-term memory. It will help you to store the information for more than an hour, for more than 24 hours, for more than 1 day, for more than 1 week, for more than 1 month, for more than 1 year, or sometimes some information will be remain forever, okay, throughout the lifetime. So that sort of information, that type of memory is to be known as long-term memory. So information, see, yesterday, probably in the evening session, I have messaged you that today 9 to 10 I will conduct the class. When you saw the message, you understood, you yourself registered as tomorrow 9 o'clock we have a psychology class. But you never tried to remember that again and again. But you thought that tomorrow morning we have a class in psychology, so I need to attend. Like that you thought, and you slept. So morning again you woke up. So 9 o'clock I should have to join the class. Like that you thought. So if you are remembering that, that is what known as long-term memory. It is usually used for remembering some elements for what I can say, more than a day, more than a week, more than a year, or a lifetime. So the example that now I quoted is for more than 1 day. So if it is more than 30 seconds, that itself is to be considered as a long-term memory. Now, just let me know the types of short-term memory. What are the types of short-term sensory memory? What are the two types I have discussed? Two types of sensory memory.
Iconic and iconic.
So iconic and echoic memory, isn't it? These are the two types. But most of you were failed to give the answer because you have not considered that sort of information into a long-term memory. Those who have given the answer, that says, though I have taught that category of sensory memory in the means before 10 minutes, if it is not remembered, it is not converted into long-term memory. Those who have given the answer, that says that, so you people have converted that sort of information into long-term memory. So like that, how we have iconic and echoic memory in sensory memory, even we have two categories in long-term memory too. So what they are? So as I said, long-term memory can be helpful for every one of us to remember the information for more than hours, more than a day, more than a week, more than a year, or for a lifetime. It depends. Some information we will remember, and sometimes some information we will forget. Say for example, if you have been to a theater for watching a movie, you will buy a ticket and you have a number, you will remember that number till you reach that seat. When once you got the seat, you just forget, or until the completion of the show for 3 hours or 4 hours, You will remember the seat number, because after interval also again you have to get back to the same seat. After one day, if anybody asks you what is the seat number of your seat which you saw in the film theater yesterday, if somebody asks you, most of the times you will not give the answer, because you never try to remember that, because it is of no useful. It is of no use, isn't it? That is what you thought is, you just forget it, isn't it? But still you remember your mobile number, you remember your passwords, you remember your name. You every day after going from the college, you will go to your own respective place because you remember, isn't it? So memory is very, very important one. Long-term memory is also very important one. Based on its nature and characteristics, long-term memory is classified as two important segments. One is episodic memory and the second one is semantic memory. What they are? Episodic memory is the form of memory which is related to our personal affairs, like name of the person, qualification, date of birth, personal experience, etc. It is a record of what has happened with us. Okay, episodic, one by one. Like how we have different episodes in a serial, like that we have learned about name, father name, mother name, surname, village name, colony name, house number, taluk, district, state, name of the country, okay, name of the continent, mobile number, date of birth, like that, our qualification. So some information we have stored, episodic, one by one we have learned, and they are all related to our past experiences. Okay, and the second one is semantic memory, which comprises of our knowledge and information related to the world affairs. Say for example, earth is round and goes around the sun. This was taught at primary level for everyone, and still we used to remember and we used to believe the same principle. So this form of information is to be known as semantic memory. Like sun rises in the east or west. ಸೂರ್ಯ ಯಾವ ದಿಕ್ಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಉದಯಿಸ್ತಾನೆ?
East.
East or west?
East.
East. Okay. So those are the some principles which will be considered as semantic memory. Means they comprises knowledge and information related to world. There are these many planets. Okay, this is the name of this particular planet. These are the characteristics of these planet. Okay, these are the different districts of Karnataka. These are the different states of our country. These are the continents of the world. Okay, so these are the features of these continent people. Like that, we have some information related to the world. That form of memory is to be known as semantic memory. A semantic memory is not easily forgotten, as the information is stored highly in an organized way, that too in an logical hierarchies and from general to specific ones. So that in that form, we can see the form of memory, I can say. Within a fraction, within 2 to 3 minutes, just I would like to even discuss about the factors which affects on the memory. The factors which are directly or indirectly influencing every one of us to memorize the thing are age. So the age definitely matters, like how nursery and LKG students used to remember when it is compared to the 5th standard student, when it is compared to 10th standard student, and when it is compared to you people. So there are differences. As per the age, memory changes. Okay, memory definitely play an important role for memorizing the things. Next is the level of intelligence we used to have. How best we are at the level of intelligence. How we are trying to improve the ability of our intelligence. Based on that also, memory definitely matters. Next is the type of motivation that we have towards memorizing. All information that we receive will not, okay, we remember only some information which are very thought-provoking, which will help us to get more information. Okay, one or another way, they are all motivated elements. If we are motivated towards those elements, then and there only it is to be known as the important factor, or else it is not. Next, some of the times physical condition of the person, what we are talking about, of whom we are talking about the memory, they also play an important role. Like if physical factors, like if I am not feeling good, if I'm suffering with cold and cough, then unable to handle the class, are unable to remember the things, unable to memorize the things. The physical conditions also play an important role. If I am suffering with some stress, external conflicts, okay, then I cannot remember the things. Okay, whenever we need to study, that situation should be very, very sound. It should be very good. It is very calm. It should create curiosity among everyone, so that will help us to remember the thing. And next is how meaningfully we will understand. So if there is an understanding with the help of proper meaning, then it will be remembered forever. If not, only by heart method is to be followed, it will be remembered for a short period of time. Sometimes there may be the chances of not remembering the things. But if you really understand the concept with the help of meaningful situation in a meaningful form, then it will be remembered forever. Next is interference from previous learning, that what sort of information we have received through the help of a previous type of learning, that also matters. So like this, age, intelligence, motivation, physical factors, stress, meaningful learning, as well as interferences from the previous learning play an important role, which influences on the type of memory. Either it may be sensory, short-term or long-term memory, they play an important role. This is what I thought of today, discussing with you in the concept of memory.